Imagine to be finally accepted in a college. You get all excited about it because you want to be a successful person, and like for that, you need to be educated. But suddenly you realize that you will pay no state tuition and you won't be able to apply for federal financial aid. In that moment, that happy moment turns into one of the hardest challenges you'll ever face in your life. This is what many undocumented students go through. My name is Angelo Angulo, and today I'm going to talk about expensive tuition and limited access to financial aid for undocumented students, the fewer opportunities for scholarships too, and the emotionally and academic stress caused by financial pressure. According to the National Immigration Law Center, undocumented students has to pay 2 to 3 times higher tuition, which is already a lot of money. And according to the Federal Student Aid, they cannot apply for financial help like FAFSA or Pell Grant. In some states, they create also what they call the in-state tuition, like states like New Mexico, California, Illinois, they do that, but it's only few states comparison to the rest of the states in the United States. So it means like, depends of what university you pick, your bill can increase for several $1,000s. And also the work opportunities, when international students come here, they only can work in the campus or they can work in a company related to their degree. But working in campuses, let's be straightforward, you just make like $12 per hour working 30 hours per week, which make it impossible to cover all the expenses you have to pay. Another thing is like after you finish your degree, you have 2 ways to get your green card and be stable here. The first one is getting married with someone, right? So some people meet their love of their life here and they take that way to fix their paper, which is okay, but most of the people, they don't do that, so they look for companies that sponsor them. And it used to cost this process like from $4,000 to $10,000 and a little bit more, maybe depends where you at. But now we saw in the news that the President Donald Trump signed this law saying like companies will have to pay $100,000 now, which makes it way more difficult because only few companies will be able to afford this, and only few students will be able to have this opportunity. So since federal aid is not an option, most of the students look for scholarships, but they're already out in most of them because most of the scholarships ask you for a proof of like a citizenship or like you are a permanent resident. So most of the undocumented students, they don't have any proof of this, so they're already out. There are like some organizations like the Dream US or the Golden Door scholarships that they help undocumented students, but of course their funds are limited. And the President Alliance or Higher Education and Immigration explains that college can legally create scholarships for undocumented students. So there is a solution right here. They can create it, but they, for some reasons, they don't do it either. Well, financial reasons especially, right? But when you combine all of this, like the stress of high tuition, like lack of aid and few scholarships, the emotionally toll becomes very high. Lucian says like the 59% of college students have considered dropping out of the financial stress. And the Center for College Mental Health reports that financial stress leads to lower grades, poor motivation, and burnout. And for undocumented students, this is even worse because they have another problems on top, like the fact that they can be deported, the fact like they have to help their families because most of them come by themselves and they have to help their family that they are in their country, right? And for political decisions, their countries are poor or they don't make enough money for that. And also like they can lose all what they have been fighting for. Since I told you also already about like the work limitations they have, most of them look for work that they can pay in cash, so works under the table as we call it. And some of them work late night and they come straight to classes the next morning, all tired, they cannot pay attention very well. And I have many classmates you can tell that they are very tired because they come straight from work. And it's very sad because most of them also, they think like they won't be able to finish it. And they are very talented and they are very hard workers. And I'm not telling you this for you feel bad for undocumented students. I am making this speech because I really would like there are more fair tuition policies and the universities or colleges create more inclusive scholarships because every student, no matter they were born, deserve to have a chance of succeed, deserve to have their dreams be coming true. They come here for an opportunity, but instead that their life is way harder here and it's getting just harder and harder and harder. We need help. We are good people and we want to be successful. Thank you.